I'm Jeremy Saliba. I'm a concept artist, illustrator, and instructor here at the Academy of Art in San Francisco. I've been teaching here for quite a while. I got my start in art and animation and everything working as a concept artist. Working freelance here in the Bay Area, and then eventually started working on all sorts of projects that came my way, from comic books to games to animation. When I sit down to work on my art, I tend to start off sketching on an iPad. It's kind of fun and informal and allows me to be a little more creative. When it's time to really focus and sit down and get something done, that's when I move over to a PC. You know, I started off using just a regular Wacom tablet, but I've graduated to the Cintiqs, and they're fantastic. They're, that one-to-one ratio of drawing and seeing what you're drawing right when you're doing it is hard to escape. At the office here, I was using an iMac. It's about a year and a half old, and at home I was using a Dell PC, which was also about a year and a half old, and there were some problems I was running into. The drawbacks that I was kind of running into working on the documents that I was working on primarily were kind of lag latency issues. Again, I'm working on PSD documents, file sizes that are like over a gig large. Navigating around the image, zooming in, zooming out, opening and closing them, hitches. Well, Asus reached out to me and talked to me about trying out one of their new Creative Professional computers and kind of upgrading what I had currently. Sitting down and doing one of my latest projects on that PC, I could tell an immediate difference right away. So far, because of the speed, because of the smoothness of everything, I feel so much more confident having multiple programs going at once and being able to move throughout them really smoothly, and it's keeping up with everything I've been trying to throw at it. Intel has been working with companies like Adobe to giving them access to these things and helping them design their programs to work with their existing software. I can tell just by interacting with these programs. Ultimately, if I were to describe it, I would say it's almost as if the hardware is anticipating what I'm going to try and do with the software before I do it. What's really nice about the NVIDIA Quadro setup on this computer is that it seems to be doing a lot more of the heavy lifting for the graphics intensive aspects that Photoshop has in it. In the past, I essentially had to shut down my PC. I wasn't able to use it for everything else. Everything was oriented towards solving that problem, whereas now I can continue being productive in other things. Well, those aspects are being seen to by the NVIDIA Quadro card. It's almost startling when I bring up my work on this monitor, seeing basically one of the big dissonances in the workflow would be getting the print back and seeing some details in the print that I hadn't noticed when I was working. I assumed it was because I just wasn't maybe slowing down quite enough and taking a really deep proofreading of my image, and I had to go back and change things. When I look in the dark areas, I can see the levels of difference now. I can see that there were brush strokes that I had left loose and unresolved because they were so close in value to the other darks that were in there, they blended in before. But now with this monitor, I can see all those same things that I would have seen in the print. I'm seeing them here on the monitor now. What I really noticed the most is it's kind of opened my eyes to the idea that I used to try to do everything on a bit more of a budget, even if I didn't have to. I'm really glad I got a chance to use the ProArt PC and the ProArt monitor, because with the smoothness and the ease of use that I've been able to do with these heavy processes that I do on my work, I really felt like the computer and even the monitor have been working for me, not against me. And I'm looking forward to using this on all my future projects.